Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns and welcome to the Twilight Princess LavaDash Goron Mines RTA tournament. It's a 2-on-2 or 1-on-1 times 2 match today. Quarterfinals from both the main and the redemption bracket. Anorakkis going up against Kejs and Baachan going up against FirnenLegacy. Not so hard. Apparently too hard to talk right now, though, so let's hand it over to Beast and to Sky, who definitely will not trip over their words while they commentate. Good luck, guys.
Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Trez.
Thanks. Yeah, it will be a very exciting race, this four-way race in a way.
Yeah, four-way race, and two of the runners are running basically the same route, doing the same stuff, but then the other two are doing some pretty different stuff. Ano and Kejs are doing the standard GameCube route. Fernen is playing on Wii, which is a very similar route, but has some differences. And Baachan is going to be doing an alternative GameCube route where he gets the boomerang. Or I'm sorry, I don't know Baachan's pronouns, where they get the boomerang.
I think it's he, him, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought I'd seen that on earlier ones. It's not here. I don't know. I'll just go with that.
But yeah, Baachan being one of the last remaining Rang users. It used to be Latella, Baachan, and Ace. Ace have switched over to Rangless, and Latella just haven't been doing runs for a while, unfortunately. But those three used to race a lot with the Rang route.
And it looks like Ano is waiting to Confirmar, but Kejs is waiting to Fertig, while Baachan and Fernen are both waiting to complete.
Yeah, lots of different languages here.
Oh, I like the little versus signs on for the 2x2 way. That's good.
Oh yeah, I just noticed that.
That's very helpful. And they're off.
All right. Hectic beginning. Lots of things happening.
Yep.
Fernen rolling left, all the others rolling right. So on the Wii version, it is mirrored horizontally.
I thought he just got confused. It's going into Orden Village. So yeah, all the runners are going to pick up this rock and use it to get through the gate where they can, or after which they can void and do back in time by resetting the console on the same frame that they void, then make a save and back in time. And hopefully all of the runners will be going for safe back in time, meaning, well, except for Fernen who can't, so that they don't have to restart the run entirely. Looks like Baachan gets through the gate on the first try. Kejs and Ano having a little more trouble. Fernen got through as well. Ano gets through.
What Fernen's doing is a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, frame 2.
Very nice.
Baachan with a very quick beginning here.
And looks like...
Oh, never mind. Fernen did get it.
Yeah, it looks like all runners got first try back in time. Very nice.
That's really good to see. Especially considering like having GameCube versus Wii, where it's way harder to get back in time on Wii, but Fernen getting it.
Interesting. Baachan gaming over.
Oh yeah, he's doing the...
oh, is that set EBF here?
He's setting EBF here. Yeah, he likes to do that for any percent as well. Yes, so he's doing Rang route, so he wants EBF going into Forest Temple. And this is what he does for any percent as well. He sets EBF at this point, so he has to watch cutscenes in Sacred Grove.
I was about to say, he has to not skip them?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
He can skip some, but there are some cutscenes he needs to watch.
Huh. Interesting.
I believe the first one, the very first one, yeah, going into Sacred Grove, but as soon as you start the Howling, you gotta watch the Skull Kid appearing, yeah.
Is that faster or just convenient because you're already back in time?
It is a little bit slower, but it's not by much, actually. They do balance each other out pretty well, from what I can recall. Alright, so the beginning of the game here is just to get to Tallow outside of Forest Temple as fast as possible. He's trapped in a cage with a monkey, and there are some bokoblins outside. So the goal is to defeat the bokoblins and break open the cage. And because they did back in time save at the beginning, they got Ordan's sword and Hylian shield, which the title screen Link had. So by respawning on the title screen, they inherited the properties of title screen Link. So they have a sword and shield, so there's no issue defeating the bokoblins and setting Tallow free. But in other categories, like no saving quit, you would arrive with no weapons, so you would have to have Trill the Bird deal damage to the bokoblins instead. It's very interesting, but way harder.
Punch your screen until something happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank goodness they have the sword and the shield from back in time. They won't have to do the notorious trick sword and shield skip later, right?
Surely Midnight will just accept the fact that, you know, the sword and shield that they have will be valid.
I don't see why she wouldn't.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's they have it for they work fine for combat, but if you look on the equipment screen, they're not there. So the game wants you to get them from their intended locations. But due to how the game state is now, due to back in time, then you cannot get the sword and shield in Ordan Village. The NPCs are not there. The village is in the wrong state. But we'll get more to that later. But really, a solid beginning from all of them so far.
Well,
the goal
then
is
Anno
to,
bonked, so...
Actually,
evening it out quite a bit. Fernan, Kejs, and Anno are on the same place.
Anno with a running slash.
Yep, and Kejs is now ahead.
Baachan with a box.
Baachan is a bit behind because of the death back in time for preparing for getting the round.
So none of the other runners will do the same route at that point, but, you know, if they were, then he would be ahead in that sense that he'd already done that part now, early on.
Yeah.
Very solid cage break time for safety back in time.
Yep.
Yeah, so the fastest movement is to, as human, is to roll. Ideally frame perfectly in most scenarios. If you go uphill and you miss frame perfect rolls, then you lose a lot of speed. So there are some hills going up to that last area where you definitely want to upkeep your frame perfect rolls, but it's pretty difficult. And saving Tallow puts you in the ranch, so now you can herd some goats, and after that you're pretty much free to leave.
Note that Fernan is now loading into goats ahead of the other runners, even though he broke the cage after Anno and Kejs. That's just because Wii has much faster loading times than GameCube does.
Yeah, it's one of the advantages that we have over GameCube. It's loads, and also a couple of rooms in Goron Mines, particularly one room where Wii is much faster. And it'll be exciting to see when we get there. Let's see, 18 from Kejs.
Nice. 21 from Anno. All very good goats times for a race, especially the 18.
Yeah, I'll take 18 any day of the week for my runs.
I wouldn't do it on Thursday. The rest of the days, sure.
Looks like Baachan is having some issues with his goat, but being cautious, saving it.
And if you're familiar with Twilight Princess any percent, you might have expected the runners to get the iron boots by going into Bo's house at this point, but ain't gonna do it. They're gonna do that later instead, because we need to use Bo for text displacement, and if we were to do that now, then we would lose the text displacement by the time we got to the place where we needed it, and it would not be helpful.
Yeah, it's weird. It's supposed to happen during a cutscene, the interaction with Bo, but due to the back in time save, we have to initiate each text box ourselves, and that opens up the possibility for TD. And you get TD 2 text boxes in, but ideally you want to talk to him at least 4 times so that the conversation progress gets stored. So when you come back the second time, you can continue where you left off. If you talk to Bo 7 times and you go past and like lose text displacement, you'll have to get text displacement elsewhere, and that loses a lot of time. So they got to be careful not to talk too much to Bo.
Yeah, I hope we don't see too many more TD issues in this tournament.
Yeah.
We've had enough.
1 is too many. So it looks like... did Fernan get cage break? I don't think... Or box break? I don't think any of them got it.
I think Fernan got cage break. I wasn't watching for box break.
Yeah, cage break, yeah. possible to save, is it like 2 seconds, 2 frames or 3 frames for like breaking the box there right as
Yeah, just
the
1 or 2 hours.
yeah. Seems like none of them got the fast cutscene drop. It's like the cutscene can play just instantly as you fall down.
I
Not
think it
quite
was
sure.
patched. I haven't gotten it at all lately.
Yeah. It's yeah, don't get it very often. So in this sewers area, your wolf link and the fastest way of movement is dashing. However, if you want to upkeep your dash as well, you want to make sure that you can cancel your. You want to make sure that you never just run without dashing, essentially. And if you dash and then have it interrupted within a 10 frame window, you can dash again, such as attacking, or if you're dashing in water, you'll be climbing up out of the water, or jumping off a ledge.
Yeah. Bonking, actually, but it's not fast.
And they're all very synced. 3 runners here. Baachan just a little bit behind, but he is in one way ahead. Although
Yeah.
difference.
It is going to be hard to compare where Baachan is to where everybody else is, because as a result of getting the boomerang, he's going to save some time in Goron Mines. But, I mean, by that point, it's like a 5-minute difference, I think you said. So,
Yeah.
by that point, it probably won't be close, like they won't be in Goron Mines at the same time. But
And
or the same
missing
part.
the tech skip there. I didn't catch if Kejs or Fernen got in.
Kejs is hurrying. Really pulling ahead.
Oh yeah, I thought for a second Fernen was ahead, but yeah, Kejs is pulling ahead.
Fernen and Anno are basically synced. It's like there's a mirror.
Yes,
between
it's
the
like
two.
a mirror between them, yeah. Oh wow. Let's see if Kejs gets the text skip here. Very nice.
Oh.
Oh, then we will see. Oh, they're perfectly synced at the top. And
Ah.
Anno gets it.
Anno gets it, and Fernen does not. Breaks the sync. Anno just got so mad that he broke his sync. Oh, he went for the tiny time saver.
Ooh.
Jump to the right. Skips climbing, risks avoiding. Kind of silly to go for in a race, but Anno's been doing it a lot lately. Oh, what was that?
On the first frame from Kejs. Yeah, so there are some jumps, midnight jumps, where if Minna is talking to you, in most cases it's possible to instantly jump towards where she's going with the 1 frame A press. So Baachan coming up on the text skip now. Saves like a second and a half, I would say, because you have a few text boxes and the camera is a little bit... yep, there you go, nice.
Kejs is now coming up on Sword and Shield skip. As we alluded to earlier, having the Sword and Shield does not actually prevent us from having to do Sword and Shield skip. Midna does not care. So Kejs is going to lure this Bulblin Hugo over to a trigger and use Hugo to jump over a big old trigger that he doesn't want to touch to hit a trigger that he does want to touch.
Indeed.
And we're hoping for good Sword and Shield skip for everyone. Failing Sword and Shield skip costs a minute and a half, something like that.
And a lot of mental damage.
Yes. Very much a bottleneck trick at the beginning of a race.
Kejs
In a run, in a PB attempt, you might reset to Sword and Shield skip, but not going to do that in a race.
No. Kejs rolling the rock there to get a green rupee, which
is totally unnecessary.
Yeah. There are no nothing that requires rupees in this category. So it's if they get any rupees, it's just for swag, just for status.
Yep. Or Simican steals them.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see how Kejs does with Sword and Shield skip.
Oh, that looks excellent. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think if that were a PB attempt, he might have gone for that on the first hop.
Yeah.
First swing. And very nice. That is a quick one for a race.
Yeah, so I think most runners will take their time and get one that they really like Anno, that one.
And
Yep.
nice.
So
Fernan's
on
doing some
Wii,
CF stuff.
on Wii, there's no C stick to control the camera, so it's a little bit more difficult on Wii to set it up. Oh, that looks good for Fernen. Very
Nice. 3 first try Sword and Shield skips. Let's hope for 4.
So the reason why Baachan has sensors on is so it will be a lot easier for him to see a visual cue on the ground. But depending on your TV or monitor or capture device or whatever, then...
And
Very
first
nice, they're
try.
all getting it first try, excellent.
Nice.
You'll love to see it. That's really good. Yeah, this is the first time we've seen first try from all the runners, and this time we have 4 instead of a 1v1, so it's just really nice to see. Alright, so normally in any percent you would skip getting the Pharaon vessel, you wouldn't complete this Twilight, but in this category we do want to complete it so that we can set it up for a glitch later called Back in Time Equipped. So we want the state of Pharaon to be different.
It's going to be our fastest way of getting to Kakariko Village without needing to get map warping. The reason any percent we go to the Gorge instead of doing Back in Time Equipped is because we need map warping eventually, and Back in Time Equipped has to go to the Gorge regardless. You don't need that in this category.
Ano got the little trick where you can open up the map and talk to Pharaon on the same frame, so it skips a few text boxes. Or you can like immediately close the map.
And the double. Ace is now ignoring the tier that he just left from that bug, or the bug just dropped, because he wants to come back for it later to avoid having to wait around for the tier to appear. And become collectible.
Yeah, so in Twilight Princess HD they changed that, so you can instantly get the tier as soon as the bug turns into a ball of light.
When Twilight Princess UHD comes out on the Switch, the tiers will automatically collect as soon as you enter the Twilight.
Yeah, whenever that comes out, surely.
Ah, Kejs got the ledge grab. It's hard to anticipate that, so you're just mashing A for a dash and then you drop off. You know, catching up by not doing that. Oh, Fernan's having trouble targeting the bug. He didn't have the bug enough on the screen. The bug is weird to target. Like, if the camera isn't oriented the right direction, then the bug isn't targetable.
Yeah, you can approach it from like a couple... Oh, very nice bug kill for a Kejs there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's satisfying. Oh, I thought I was going to get it from one jump attack and like, get the tiers. Nice. Same jump attack.
Ano's catching up. He and Kejs are like 2-3 seconds apart.
This is a really close race so far from like everyone. It's great.
Yeah, that's true. Fernen is just now leaving the area Baachan is entering.
And Fernen and Baachan both got the Koro tech skip there, where you can turn off senses as soon as you kill the bugs. Oh, nice side-up collect on the tier. I haven't seen that before. Yeah, all runners are just playing really well. This is great.
Yep. Why don't we all play really well all the time?
Yeah.
Ooh, and Ano pulls ahead by getting a one-framer.
These 3 bugs in the tree trunk can spread really easily, so they approach with a... Oh, just like that. Commentator's curse. Pretty good save for Kejs though.
Yeah.
Could have a lot worse. Right, so coming up very soon we have early Master Sword. And in this category we would do the super jump using the shadow piece in this next area to get up on the ledge. We'll do that thing twice.
Yeah, the first time Ano is going to forget where the Master Sword is, so he's going to do EMS and then get on the ledge and then go to the Forest Temple and go, oh no, that's not where the Master Sword is. He's going to kill 2 bugs while he's there and then come back and do it again and actually go to the Master Sword. Ooh, I like the double collect there.
Yeah, so it seems like Kejs did not do the void out strat that Ano did, so he has to chase the bugs around.
Yeah.
It is a little bit faster in theory, but much more difficult.
Ano's probably going for fast EMS, yeah.
Nice.
And jumping over the root, good. Good first EMS from Ano. Sky, do you see a Master Sword over here anywhere?
I don't.
I don't see the Master Sword.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm not getting a first try for Kejs.
This is, or should be careful about killing those other 2 Shadow Beasts, though. If he kills both of them, then that'll cost him actually...
a lot of time. He'll have to reroute quite a bit.
I mean, it would probably be faster to just start the run over from the bit save. So, yeah, it's second try, though. Ano, having collected the tiers, now coming back for second EMS. Just like hobbits have second breakfast, we have second EMS in Goron Mines RTA.
Close for Fernen. But not quite.
Yeah, Baachan and Fernen are now both in the Shadow Beast arena, so roughly in the same spot.
Oh,
and Baachan, interesting.
Oh, he can still retry.
Yeah.
Yes, Baachan got a fast swing. Ideally, you want a slow swing, so it's still technically possible to do it in a fast swing, but nobody goes for that in RTA.
I know, unfortunately, failing EMS, and now Baachan pulls ahead of Fernen. Well, like I said, it's hard to say who's actually ahead at any given point, given their route differences and version differences.
But in this map.
Yeah. And Anno is going to be the first to reach Sacred Grove. There goes. Oh, well, sorry, Baachan reached Sacred Grove first because Baachan is doing... Right,
Yeah.
that explains why Baachan is catching up.
Yeah, so now he has to watch some cutscenes here that... so he's watching this cutscene that the others can skip, because he doesn't want to lose early boss flag value that he set at the start of the run. So this is a very interesting route difference. There are
I hadn't even
little differences like this.
I hadn't even considered Baachan hasn't been collecting tiers. Because getting Master Sword first means going all the way back through and going to Forest Temple before getting the last two. Baachan doesn't have to do double EMS. That is pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the shift in the in the run when I switched to that route. Suddenly EMS got a lot more difficult, and well, it's just that you have to do it again. There is RNG involved with getting a fast or slow swing, and every now and then you would just get fast swing after fast swing, and then realizing you have to dig for hearts, and it's like, oh, this is fun.
Yep. I did get 6 fast swings in a row pretty recently.
Oh. Should be good for Fernen. There we go.
Yeah, nice. So Kejs, hopefully he's going to be careful with his health. He's got 1 heart, and if he were to die at any point between now and getting the Master Sword, it'd be pretty tragic.
Yeah, getting the Master Sword refills your hearts, so it's very convenient.
Yeah.
But also collecting a tier also refill hearts, and
right,
like later.
So I guess Kejs probably got 2 bad swings on the second EMS. I wasn't looking.
Yeah. So I'll admit it was a little bit difficult to pay attention to all of the EMS attempts from roughly at the same time.
Especially when most of them were doing double EMS. Then we just watched 7 EMSs.
Yeah.
Basically the same time.
That's a good point. It's very convenient that you can do this whole Sacred Grove sequence, 3 dungeons earlier than you're supposed to. Because you're supposed to approach this area as Wolf, and since you are Wolf, the game doesn't bother to check other events in the game, like have you beaten Lakebed. It's like,
there's no...
You are here, you are Wolf, that's good enough.
There's no room in the Sacred Grove that requires the claw shot or requires the bow, the boomerang.
And getting the Master Sword early is, convenient for many reasons, as you can imagine. Big one being able to warp around into the warp points that you already have unlocked. You can see Baachan watching another cutscene here, because if he skips this, he will lose early boss flag. The early boss flag, one of those things. It's kind of, in a way, it's we have early boss flag and text displacement. They are different things, but cutscenes can affect them, so it's similar in that sense. None of the other runners will make use of early boss flag. They will make use of something like the getting to King Boblin, which is one of the methods to get early boss flags, but they won't actually use the early boss flag value on anything.
Does Baachan have to do anything? Does Baachan have to void on the monkey chain?
That's a good question. It's been a while since I've seen this route. He might need to.
Because I would think KB would be screwed up. Like he'd have slow Epona or something.
Yeah. I think it's been a while since I've checked that route, but I guess he's still going to clear the Twilight and do the back in time equip later. In that case, he won't need to clear it. Alright, so on Anno's screen, he's pressing senses in between these jumps just for fun. It's a 2-frame window where you can press X to turn on senses and the screen flashes. There are 12 instances of that, and he missed at 1 there. I think he's gotten all of them so far, except that one.
Oh, Kejs is doing the Master Sword puzzle on the other side. I've never actually seen anyone do that. Like, it's exactly the same thing, just mirrored, but...
Oh. That has to be a thing of recent, because he's always done it the same way, most other people have done it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can...
If he usually did it this way, then I would do it this way too.
Yeah.
Learn from watching his run. Anno is the first to get the Master Sword at 22:36. That is a very respectable race time. I know the fastest time I know of for the Master Sword in this category is 22:40 from Simi. So, a minute behind that is not too shabby. Simi's run is also just nuts.
21:40.
What did I say?
22:40.
Oh yeah, 21:40. And Kejs getting it at 22:51, so just 15 seconds off of Anno.
Oh, Baachan also doing the puzzle in the same way Kejs did. Maybe there's a revolution going on.
Yeah, everyone's just going to change overnight.
So getting the Master Sword early, very useful. As soon as you interact with the pedestal, you're given the Master Sword in your equipment screen, but you don't actually get the Shadow Crystal until like halfway through for whatever reason. Oh. It makes sense in the cutscene, but from a programming standpoint, it's interesting that they did it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, getting the Master Sword is important. The runners will be able to transform and warp whenever they please. They'll also be able to get into Lake Bed early, but they won't.
And that's Master Sword for Fernen as well. So they're all in the Master Sword cutscene. You'll love to see it for a race.
One thing to note about this cutscene too is that Midna has a tiny nose.
Oh, is it smaller than usual?
No, I don't think so.
There is one thing where on Fernen's screen, Midna is not there at the moment. She's supposed to be visible right there.
I mean, Fernen is cheating. No, that's how it always works when you get it early.
Right, so I don't know what warping back to South Pharaon. This was the Shadow Beast fight that he did clear. So, the one in North Pharaon, we just performed super jumps from the Shadow Beast without ever clearing the fight, so we don't have that warp portal unlocked. And he will now collect the last 2 tiers, and this is why he saved those 2 tiers for last, so he can collect them and then quickly be in a convenient spot to do back in time equipped in a moment. And he wants to be human here.
It's really just for collecting him. He's going to save warp after the forced warp anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He wants to be human. A 1-frame backflip, which will save him a few seconds of Midna dialogue. Gets it?
Yeah, I believe it's like a whole 5 seconds. I timed it recently. There's a pause in between those two sets of text boxes.
I think it's more like 5 for Hundo because instead of save warping, you warp and there's a delay on calling Midna. Because she's just talked. But I think for this, it's like 3 or 4.
And it looks like none of them got it.
Not yet. Baachan has other tiers to collect.
Yeah, there's the route difference with it. He will enter Forest Temple and get the boomerang, so...
Yeah. So Anna is now going for back in... Ah, no, he missed it. I was going for back in time again.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, what? Huh?
Yeah, that was the first frame. So he will now go into the file select screen as Link is voiding out and select that file that he just saved. And third try for Kejs, although, opening the map instead of falling down accidentally.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a better way to fail it. And it was coming up on the biggest RNG, or one of the biggest RNG components we had in this round.
Oh, really good.
Good RNG. Okay.
Slightly messed up fight, but not bad. Only 1 hit left. Or, well, 2. Like 1 approach. Very good. Good RNG and pretty good fight.
Yeah. Hopefully Kejs will have similarly good fight. So
after the third slash, Kimbolden will, either turn left or right, and he turned left for Kejs. Kejs is Kejs.
Hard left, too.
Kejs is left or right turn. Right turn.
Oh.
Yeah, and those boars, his minions there will run into you there, so it can be difficult to catch up. Let's see. Don't use all spurs. Very wise.
It's so aggravating because KB just moves ever so slightly slower than you, and it feels like if you just sprint a little harder, you can catch up, but you can't.
Yeah.
You have to wait.
So Fernen will now do back in time equipped as well, but since he's on Wii, he will do a setup to make it way less likely that it will crash. It shouldn't crash as long as he does this right. So he saves, he resets, and now he will void out, and then he will attempt back in time equip. And that sequence of events will make it so it should not crash on Wii, because it is a lot more prone to crashing on Wii than it is on Wii.
No! So looks like Kejs released his spin attack early, I think it was, and then missed, so he had to slap KB and then tried to catch up and got knocked off. So he just voided out, and he's just going to have to do one more slash. No, the damage doesn't restart. He could have just done it normally, I think.
Yeah, could have done it normal. Fernen getting it very nice. He did the setup correctly, and he got the frame he wanted.
So this is wrong warp the runners to Kakariko, or rather, it was a wrong warp into the KB fight, and the KB fight normally puts you in Kakariko. Like, Anno has golded his segment. That was a really nice KB segment.
Baachan now in Forest Temple.
And Anno saved a little bit of time there by staying human through the Shadow Beast fight and through getting the vessel. It's a faster on a few animations and just rolling in the water. To be human.
Fernen getting good RNG, but not able to capitalize on it.
So Baachan, for lack of a slingshot, is now killing the spider with a Deku Nut.
And oh, it looks like he could have done spider skip. He might go wolf here.
Yeah, he's lowering it down.
Yep.
So Anno, well, all the runners will now have to, I guess except Baachan, will now have to beat Elden Twilight. The goal being to open up Kakariko and put it in the state where we can get into Goron Mines.
King will been doing a little jump there on the fence for Fernen.
And Baachan will have to do that, but...
Oh, they had the same angle, but King
No!
But not for
what
Fernen.
A scam.
The boar being more agile than Epona.
Yeah.
I think it's one hit left.
Ugh.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, and Baachan has a bunch of monkeys now. This is because he didn't watch those cutscenes earlier.
Yeah, he will void out. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what we thought. Should have rehearsed this route.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost missed the monkey chain. Usually runners will, tilt the controls like, a little bit further right, like towards the monkeys, because the wind will blow us a little bit further to the right, but he just held straight forward and almost didn't grab them.
I guess it's less of an issue when voiding isn't a bad thing. Oh, Fernen got the thing where Bolden is sitting all the way down.
Yeah, first frame hit there on the second one.
Nice. Baachan will now get the boomerang, and we'll see why the route optimally doesn't get the boomerang. It's pretty slow to go into Forest Temple and do all this stuff, and then there's a whole long cutscene after you've beaten Ook.
Yeah,
but having the boomerang will be very convenient in Goron Mines.
Yeah, it'll make the dungeon a lot easier. Baachan got 3 hops from Ook, minimum being 2, maximum being infinite in theory. The record is it 27?
I don't know.
25.
Yeah, it's over 20.
Like
That'll just ignoring Fernen.
That one too.
Oh god.
That's a good reposition though.
Yeah, that was well played.
So Fernen now starting Elden Twilight in a second.
And we'll see Anno pushing this bug's corpse after he kills it, just so the tier's a little closer to
that was
a really good push. Yeah. I wonder if Anno intentionally didn't get that one framer because he was worried that he wouldn't collect the tier in time.
Oh, right, yeah. Because it's possible to leave certain buildings here before the tier actually goes into the vessel if you're too fast.
Yeah.
If you touch the tier with like the center of Wolfling's body, it instantly goes into the tier. But if you touch like the edges of it, or like around the sides, then it will take a bit longer traveling to Wolflink. And the faster you move then will depend on how quickly it goes to you. So if you have like a movement speed hack and you just run for it, then it's going to take a while for the tier to catch up to you.
Ace just did exactly the same thing that he did in Koro's house. Accidentally got a ledge grab and then dropped. And Anno's going for Wolf Bomb House skip. Looks like he's doing the old method.
Yep, the eyeballing.
Yeah. And any percent, we have the option to do this as human, and it just costs 4 seconds, but it's way easier. But in this category, because Anno doesn't have the boomerang,
He
Oh, that was a
some
quick time.
Okay. So if you take too long there, Kevin, the Kargarok, as we call him, will interrupt you, and if you he can take the priority for the first. Yep, there he is, the midnight
Yep.
charge.
And I got
And that would
lucky
be a
there.
disaster.
The other day, or it was like a week ago or something like that, I was doing a Goron Mines RTA run offline, and the Kargarok came on my first try. Like, it wasn't the fastest Wolf Bomb House skip, like I took a little bit of time adjusting and stuff, but it wasn't slow. And it was first try, and the Kargarok still came and prevented me from hitting the bug. It was crazy.
Oh, that's scary.
I'd never seen it come that fast before.
Some bad RNG for Anno. The bug needs to go out of that part of the watchtower before it becomes vulnerable.
Yeah.
But Baachan have gotten the boomerang and save warp left Forest Temple and has now performed back in time equipped like we saw earlier and is now in the King Boblin fight. So he's approaching Kakariko with the rest of the runners, but he has boomerang. So he will save time later. But,
skip.
oh no. That's unfortunate. That is probably the mistake I'm most scared of making, although Sword and Shield skip also being one of them, but yeah, it's quite the fall.
Yep. 30-second loss or something.
That gives Fernen some time to catch up. And Baachan. Should be one hit left for... There we go. Alright, Kejs retrying. Looks good.
Yep.
So yeah, killing this bug before it enters the house causes the loading zone to not be there, and you can just instantly collect the tears as if you had entered the house, did the event inside, and watched the cutscene of the house exploding. Fernen having some issues climbing up out of this area. Oh,
Could be stuck here forever.
You know what they say, fourth tries the charm.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a little bit awkward to get past those pots, because if you just mash A to dash, then you grab one of the pots. Gotta be careful.
A blue rupee for Kejs here. He doesn't need it, but he will side hop so he can get the rupee without getting the text box, just to clear it, to get it out of the way so he doesn't accidentally hit it on his way out. But he's playing on German, and German is one of those, I think it's the fastest version when it comes to rupee text. So if he were to accidentally get a rupee text, then it wouldn't be the end of the world. It would be way worse for... which one is the slowest for rupee text specifically? Is that Spanish?
I think someone said it was the other day, but I have no idea.
I think that's what Anno said the other day. And Baachan now starting out in Twilight. Just as Anno is finishing it.
Good timing.
Yeah. Alright, Fernen coming up on Wolf Bomb House skip. We say Wolf Bomb House skip since, you know, as Beast alluded to earlier, you can do it as human with boomerang in any percent as you've gotten the boomerang at that point. But with the fastest route for this category, you ideally want to not get the boomerang. But Baachan will have the opportunity to use boomerang if he wishes.
Fernen also can never use the boomerang for it because he's on Wii.
That's true. And this is second attempt, so Kevin the Kargarok will probably...
Ooh, doing the Midna call method. Interesting.
Yeah. He should probably wait here and then...
Yeah, that would have been safe.
Yep. So the safe play there would have been to just wait as soon as he had done the jump to get across there, kill the Kargarok very carefully so that to not midna charge his way, hit the Kargarok and fall all the way down, and then approach the bug.
Yeah.
He almost made it in time though.
I'm a little bit worried because if you go too close to the opening in the bomb house, then the bug doesn't respawn here. You just have to go in and kill it. And Fernen did get pretty close on the second leg of that midna charge, so we'll see.
Let's see if the bug has already entered or not. Yeah, so we used the cold midna to stop our momentum from the jump attack there. And then after a little while we...
looks like he's good.
Okay, good. And then we realized that holding ESS down also prevents you from moving forward after the jump attack. It's a little bit faster.
Some people just tap down too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Anno is now traveling back to Orden. This category has more Orden trips than any other category. even 100%. Maybe not Hundo Plus, but I think also Hundo Plus. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he talked to Bo 4 times there to get text displacement, which will apply to Goron, the Goron Elder outside of the Goron Mines.
Yeah, the simple explanation of text displacement is that if you get, well, in certain conversations with certain NPCs, the game keeps track of where you are in the conversation by setting a flag in memory. And basically, that flag is supposed to get cleared once you finish the conversation, and it's only set for conversations that you're not supposed to be able to interrupt. But if we interrupt one of those conversations, then that flag doesn't get unset, and we can apply it to another conversation or another NPC. And I didn't know you could climb on the Goron as well.
Climb as wolf link. Yeah, so he just has to wait for this meter to fall down. So it's just goofing around in the meantime. Nice.
So anyway, by getting the Master Sword, the runners have prevented Goron's conversation from happening normally, so we couldn't, or the runners can't normally get to the part where Goron says, hey, let's wrestle, and then I'll let you into the Goron mines. But if they set text displacement with another NPC, in this case, Bo, then they can get to that part of Goron's dialogue. And Bo is just really convenient for this category because we need the iron boots anyway. Koro would be another choice that's possible, though it's a bit tougher and requires 100 rupees.
And just a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Although not too much. We did time it. Adam timed it a little while ago, and I think Anno and I also like sort of looked at it again. And yeah, it's a little bit slower. Thankfully, I would say, because you know that's a one frame trick out of the way.
Yeah, it would kind of suck if Koro TD were faster, but only by like 3 seconds or something.
Yeah. So Anno needs to be careful to not watch certain cutscenes, game over, or save warps. Any of those things will lose him text displacement. So he's just climbing up normally here, and he will now sort of apply Bo's text to Goron. And Goron will say, all right, I'll let you in, or like, let's wrestle, or something like that. And then now Goron Mines is unlocked. So if you were to do a roll clip by the two guards there, or reload the area, they would have moved out of the way. But he doesn't have iron boots, so he needs to go back to Bo.
But you can beat Goron Mines without iron boots.
Yeah, you can with some trickery that is not convenient for this category.
It would take a whole lot longer.
Yep.
Oh no!
Actually missing the bindet charge on that bug.
Fernen yakety saxing around.
Killing all the enemies in the area.
Yes, and Anno's going right back to Bo. So much Bo.
Oh,
and when he gets into Goron Mines, he's going to get the Bo.
No, I didn't pay attention to Baachan. He, I'm guessing he did bomb skip with the boomerang.
Oh yeah, I didn't look.
Ah, I missed it.
Can you go back and do it again, Baachan?
Yeah. Oh, getting good RNG for the bug in the watchtower though. I see we had 2 runners, I believe, having some bad RNG previously.
And Baachan intentionally moved over to the side so as to not bonk the wall and get the blue rupee to fall.
Smart. Fernen somehow did not land on the blue rupee when he was there. It looked like he totally collected it, and then he got the tier, and then he just ran straight into the rupee afterwards. It was very interesting. Alright, so Bo is rock, paper, scissors with some button mashing.
Yep.
So mashing about 12 times per second will guarantee a 1 cycle if Bo cooperates. So ideally you want him to either sidestep or do nothing so that you can slap him and then you can start to push him off. Kejs now applying text displacement to Goron. Goron Mines is now unlocked. Now he just needs the iron boots.
Let's see how Bo treats Anno. Lucha. Not bad.
Couple of slap interactions, but then getting it. Let's hit the second round.
And for reference, not Bo, Anno is about 1.5 minutes ahead of Kejs. Oh, almost got it anyway.
Oh, nice. Got the belly bonk off.
Boing. That Bo could have been better, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, take that any day for a race.
Yeah, and in terms of gameplay, it was just fine. Anno did well. Just not the best RNG.
Let's see, he's playing pretty well, like pretty close to his PB. He has a very good run. And he got a huge PB in one of the recent races. PB'd by a minute and 1 second, I believe.
Yeah, wasn't he planning to PB by another minute and another second in this race?
Yeah, and it would be possible, and it would we get an even nicer time. And then doing it again though might be a bit tough.
I don't know. Could
But
happen.
55 is possible in GameCube. That's sort of the god run for GameCube, getting a 55. It would be a high 55, but
Ooh, popping out on early elevator. Unfortunate. Just gotta wait for the Goron now.
he's doing the target a bit quicker, or like the roll after the target.
I think he was kind of playing fast and loose with the ledge grab too. Got to be pretty close into the corner.
That looks good. Target. He's doing the roll way too quickly after targeting, which is the main issue here.
There he goes.
Hopefully he doesn't get hit here.
That's fine.
Oof, okay. Yeah, so you can jump towards this pipe and click back inbounds, very conveniently placing you in this area, so you can reach the elevator and then right up, and then the Goron will let you inside.
Ooh, but he put boots on X instead of Y. That's going to cost him some time.
Iron Boots on X is pretty comfortable in the Tektite room, where you can do a side hop and equip Iron Boots and just roll your thumb over from A to X.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I have Iron Boots on X in this category, is for that
I mean, you
one
can just
room.
put your knuckle, your thumb, like the middle of the thumb, on A, and then roll it onto the Y button.
Yep. Fernen having the lantern out before warping. Nice.
Nice.
The style points.
Alright, so Anno is in the toughest room in the entire run, in my opinion. Because there are a lot of ways to void in this room, and it's kind of a long room. So if you void at the very end, you have to go all the way back to the beginning and redo all of it.
Yeah,
Hopefully
and
you will...
you take 2 hearts of damage if you fall in lava, so...
Yep. If he were to fall in lava now, he would die, it would game over, and then also have to restart the room. But it's going well so far.
Yeah, and Anno is doing the room in this way because he doesn't have the boomerang, so when Baachan gets there, we'll see quite a big difference in the routing for this room. Playing it safe, going to the corner, very nice.
Yep.
There we go.
Alright, we made it through.
Good flame jet skips. There are so many different ways you can skip those, even without the boomerang. And they're all just like a second apart here and there.
And Kejs got early Ellie. That first try? Wasn't
I think
watching.
so. Good. Vernon about to wrestle Bo.
Let's see if Anna goes for risky but time saver to note it saves 4 seconds only. That looks pretty rough for it. He might still go for it, but no. Nope, securing his lead by not going for it.
It's so tempting to go for that early cycle and then just miserably fail.
And you can really go for it pretty late. I mean, as we saw from Simi the other day. I think that was in a race.
Yep, that was the first round of Redemption Bracket. No,
Yeah.
no, it was the one before that. It was the first pool 1.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was. I just remember the platform was basically vertical and he went for it anyway.
Yeah.
And first try slab clip from Anno. Let's hope Kejs does well in this first room as well.
Baachan unfortunately not dodging the Gorons there, getting hit twice. Oh, interesting Goron dodge from Baachan.
Yeah.
Just running around.
Running slash was cool. Oh,
Feeling,
Kejs, no! No! Oh, that's so unfortunate.
And yeah, 2 hearts of damage. Hitting the lava. If you were wearing the Zor armor, it would deal like 21 hearts of damage or something. The damage is so much that you're basically game over, regardless of how much health you have, I believe.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's hard-coded to be a game over or if it's 20 hearts, but Zor armor is usually a 10 times multiplier for fire, so it would be 20 hearts.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that sucks. That's part of the reason that I don't go for that method. Is just that you can easily accidentally land too far right and slip right off.
You know, Anno being ahead, Kejs probably thought that, you know, I don't know if he's watching, but, and knows the lead Anno has, but, you know, has to, if he was, then he might think to himself, this is an opportunity for me to catch up, I gotta go for all the
True,
all the risky
yeah.
stuff. Which makes it really interesting for like a tournament setting where like this is where a lot of things can either go right or very wrong.
Yeah. And it's
Which
still
was fun
possible we
last-
could see a comeback from Kejs.
Yep. It was very exciting to watch the last race where backs and forth were like the lead was traded back and forth between Zelda and Dish in this one room, both
Yeah.
getting game overs and whatnot. So Anno in this room doing a slow magnetic ceiling walk. On GameCube, this is all we can do, but on Wii, there's a glitch that allows us to just run on the ceiling here, and we'll see that from Fernen in a few minutes.
And Kejs did get risky, but time saver to note saves 4 seconds only.
Very
We got the
nice.
version where he grabs the ledge.
Fernen had a little bit of issue with bow, so let's see if Baachan will get a fast one. Slab clip coming up for a case. There's just a few seconds of running around, but it's a bit difficult to hit. You gotta make sure you roll into the space in between here and not bonk. Ooh.
Pulled an extra time just to have a little more
Yeah.
leeway.
Very nice.
Looks like Fernen is entering Goron Mines.
Decent
We'll
first
be able to
round.
catch up a little bit in Goron Mines, as we'll see in a bit.
Decent
Lano,
first
jump over a
round.
Tektite, extra points. Lano gets extra points.
See the second round. Bow dodging the slap.
Let's see Anno's wolf clip. You know, I haven't actually seen anyone fail this in the tournament at all.
Like the voiding thing. Oh yeah, like getting hit by the Tektites, yeah.
Yeah, either way. Well, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm so sorry.
Oh, a raid from ZSR main. Welcome.
It's an unfortunate time loss. Is he gonna get the heart? Yeah, that's smart. Unfortunate time loss for Anno. Is you can kill those Tektites as wolf, but it just takes a really long time. It's very cumbersome.
Yeah.
It's worth transforming.
And also you take double damage as wolf, so it's just it's bad on both ways.
Yeah, true. He did at least have a full heart though.
Fernen bonking there.
No! Oh! And I was trying to cut corners and yeah, Kejs is
Unfortunate.
We're gonna catch up a little bit here.
Let's see. Fernen gets the risky the time saver to note 6 saves 4 seconds only. Nope, he bonked. He will not make the
Unlikely
first
at this point. Where is Anno
second.
going?
Good. Fernen taking his time, making sure that he doesn't play too risky here. Baachan now doing early elevator clip. Let's see. Very nice. He does the ult method. It was recently. You recently just told Sim and I like, oh hey guys, this works. You can just transform right away, and we thought that we both had tested that like a long time ago to not work, but it does. Oh, Baachan did of course he didn't transform to wolf because he has the boomerang, so he can do a long jump
yeah.
attack. I actually find that to be more
Wait.
difficult than the wolf dash. Just
Yeah,
because like how you aim.
He did transform and then transform back. Interesting. Oh, so now Anno's going for key shard skip. This
Yeah,
is
this
a very
is,
awkward jump. Where it
Oh,
man.
excellent. Setup was
Crushed it.
first try. Very nice. Putting on a clinic.
Yeah. The jump is really awkward and it looks like you should make it every time, but you don't. Unless you're Anorakkis.
He's been putting a lot of hours into that trick. It's very flashy looking.
The goal of LavaDash is it's Goron Mines RTA. Did he just get a side hop? Nice. Got the one framer on a side hop instead of a roll.
So
the goal is
Baachan
to
now.
beat Goron Mines as quickly as possible from a new file. It's about an hour.
So Baachan with that LGA across that the other runners could not do because they didn't get the boomerang. That saves so much time in this room.
Well, kind of, yeah. It really doesn't offset the cost of the boomerang, but it's like 30 seconds maybe.
It's like nice to haves. Oh, Kejs having some issues with this clip.
That's
yeah, like-
unfortunate. I
yeah,
shouldn't have said anything.
But yeah, like you mentioned, a fresh file to Goron Mines with the dungeon as fast as you can. An old race category from 2011 that actually has a very interesting route and has seen some really cool development over the last few years. Being the third of a length of 90%, it's a lot easier to schedule races than full 90%.
Oh, we just missed Fernen walking across the ceiling.
No.
Whoops. It goes by so quickly.
Yeah, it's a lot of things happening at once. But yeah, so Fernen, being on Wii, had the ability to unequip Iron Boots as he's being pulled up into the ceiling, and he can just run around on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And it saves like 45 seconds in that room versus GameCube. It's quite crazy.
The run ends on saying yes to Midna at the portal after beating Fyrus. He's going to present a problem for the two runners on the left because they're not in English, so they won't be able to say yes. And it will say
point.
C, and Kejs will probably say yeah, I guess.
Yeah, yep.
Does it just say yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Thought it might have been translated differently somehow.
If there was a Norwegian version of TP, then let's say yeah.
FOG.
Alright, so Kejs coming up on the key sharp skip. Anno got a first try setupless. Kejs should put away his sword. There we go.
I mean, you can get it with sword out.
Yeah. That was a good attempt, but 1 frame late. Looked like 1 frame late again, like just slightly too late.
Yeah, this is what I was going to say before, not anticipating Anno just getting it instantly first try, but it looks like you should be able to grab that ledge so easily every single time, but when Link's falling long enough, he gets into this animation where he just can't grab anything, so...
Oh, his angle is good, and his position is pretty good, but it's just a little bit off.
Yep.
Seems like he's going late most of the time by a frame or two.
No! That's an unfortunate fall.
Yeah.
No, that does at least balance out his fall into the lava earlier. Cools him off.
Yeah, good point.
So Anno's now gotten the third key shard, and he skipped the second one earlier. He did get the first, but he doesn't need it, because the game only checks for the third one. LJ is allowed, and we'll see it on Baachan's screen. It's just slower for this category to get the boomerang. So Baachan did get the boomerang, and it cost him like 5 minutes or so, but he will be able to skip this difficult trick.
Anno choosing to go for the BMO's route the intended way, which is a good choice, as skipping it is only faster, like theoretically, and most of the time you will not save time with the route. It just looks really flashy. Fernen now doing key shard skip. Kejs got it. So we being mirrored, yeah, you see him being on the left side in this case. Oh, that looked really good. Yeah, he goes one attempt and then gets the key shard. Wise choice, playing it safe.
Yeah, it's a tough trick to figure out whether it's worth it. Just because the trick, I don't know, I think you have to get 8th try or something. Where's Anno going? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he went for landing on the wooden platform there. 2 seconds slower than landing on top of the metal bridge before it's cut down, but way less risky.
Yeah, at this point, Anno is pretty far ahead. He would just need some major mistakes to not win, so he's just securing his victory.
Yeah, at this point he needs a crash in order for the others to catch up. The last save point is very far back. It's right after clearing Fire on Twilight.
Oh, he could die to Fyrus.
Yeah, that's true. He would then respawn outside of the boss door and have to redo the fight. That chest being a big chest on Wii on Fernen's screen, whereas being it's a small chest on GameCube. Still having a yellow rupee inside, but yep. It's an interesting version difference.
Which chest?
Right after KSS, when you after walking on the wall.
I did not know about that.
It's a little small little brown chest for a GameCube, but a big blue one on the Wii. Same amount inside them. Baachan now doing LGA. This saves a lot of time in this room, like relatively to the other runners. Although, like you mentioned earlier, it doesn't offset getting the boomerang, but it's very convenient for the dungeon. So now that he already has it, it's time to shine.
And Anno is just waltzing into Fyrus's bedroom, pulling him down and stabbing him in the head. Seems pretty rude.
Yeah.
Anno's just a rude guy.
It is possible to defeat fighters with only arrow shots, but it does take 11 shots to the eye, I believe. Being much slower than using the arrows to pull him down. But it's interesting that it works.
Yeah.
Alright, Baachan now will do an LGA here for key shard skip.
Yep.
This is significantly easier and way faster than what the others did.
Really, it's not that much faster. It's more just that it's easier. Like, it's 20 seconds faster, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
It looks like Anno will be finishing with a high 58, which is a great race time.
Absolutely. He played pretty close to his PB, pretty much all the way.
Yeah.
His PB being 57.36. Flat, I believe. We had a bit of a retime on that because it was. We were like, "Is this a 35?"
Record for this category is 56.14 at the moment, but it would be. Wait, why was Fernan aiming at the very edge of that rope? Interesting. It is contested now. Nimzo got a pretty close time last night, and then we've had quite a few PB improvements during the course of this tournament, so it's possible that will change.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if, who knows, maybe we'll see a 55 at the end of this whole thing. Alright, so Fernan now getting the last key shard. The only one that the game checks for, like we just mentioned earlier. So in an IL setting, you could skip the first key shard as well, with a really cool trick.
Yeah. And GG Anno, 58.47.
47. Like Beast said, excellent race time.
There we go.
Really good.
Yeah.
So so we have two races going on here. It's Anorakkis versus Kejs in one of the races. So Anorakkis moves on in the winner's side. Kejs goes to losers. And then the other is Fernan versus Baachan in the redemption bracket. So it's a four-way race, but it's the 1v1 and then 1v1.
Is Anno going to come in for an interview? It looks like he's in the waiting room.
So he will...
Yeah, I was just checking the bracket too.
Yeah, he will fight the winner of Nimzo and someone.
Yeah. And they won't race, they'll fight.
Yeah. After school.
Anno, GG.
GG.
That was a really nice key shard skip.
That was a pretty nice run in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second
and
try
now you're
EMS.
avoiding it with opponent.
Yeah, you played
Trying.
pretty close to your PB like pretty much the whole run. It's great.
I was only 4 seconds behind at Ellen Vessel, which was surprising, but I guess good KB1 RNG does that.
Yep.
Yeah, GG. Moving on in the winner's side.
I was really nervous for this race. Kejs is a really good runner, so... unfortunate that this key shard skip that...
Yeah, first room.
Yeah.
And
I mean, there were a few
oh,
things.
man.
And Wolf Bomb had a skip as well.
Yeah, that was the first big one.
Yeah, but really fun race in general.
The beginning was really fun to watch. You were all playing so well, getting like first try sword and shield skip and just being neck and neck and going into the Twilight.
Yeah, it was 4 times first try sword and shield skip. It was very good.
That's really good to see in a race.
Yeah, and I believe I think that was the first time that we saw sword and shield skip first try from all the people involved as well. And this being 4 people racing and they're all getting it, it's just really fun.
And then I made the mistake of saying that nowhere in the tournament had I seen anyone fail the Wolf gate clip in Goron Mines yet, and then, you and Kejs both failed it.
Yeah, I think I just lined up too far left the first time, and that fortunately didn't void, but...
Baachan now doing the LJ
Oh,
method
yeah.
here.
I forgot this is in this category if you get shot, though.
Luckily that archer
Oh.
up there is hitting the wooden ground. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
much faster than the intended BMO's way.
We can definitely expect a victory from Fernan, but they're not that far apart.
Could see a wee crash, although there's no back in time at this point. I haven't seen any crashes in the Fires fight from anyone in
Ever.
ever. But commentator's curse is a real thing.
Yep. We can also take a moment to appreciate that in the top right of Fernen's screen, when he has control of Link, it looks like Midna is a little stick figure wearing the iron boots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so it was important for the magnetic ceiling glitch that he did in that one room earlier that we unfortunately didn't really catch in time. That iron boots is the only thing on D-pad down that he didn't equip it on the other D-pad directions, like left or right, so that you would have the lantern to force unequip it. And that should be it for Fernen. There's just a cutscene left. Baachan also in the fight. So, I mean, overall, close race.
Yeah.
Seems like, well, it seems like Kejs have reset its splits, but I think it didn't join through live split, so they didn't like forfeit on race time. So you can actually do a roll step underneath, like under his armpit, basically, on the left side for GameCube or right side on Wii, and the other side of him it just seems to not work. It seems like Fernen will be the winner of the race of him versus Baachan. So that is the redemption bracket. He will then... Let me see, where's it? Oh, I don't have it open. But he will move on to the next round in that bracket. See where that will be.
GG, Fernen.
GG.
Wow, wait a minute. Is Baachan and Kejs are in the same cutscene? I didn't actually notice which one's ahead.
Oh, I think Baachan is a little bit ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
But of course, Kejs being the opponent for Anno, so it's not like a fully linked four-way pool race. So he messed around a little bit after he realized that Anno was, finished.
Looks like Anno might be going to buy the Hawkeye soon.
Let's see. So Fernen moves on. He will face the winner of Geo versus Dish, which is another Wii.
Ooh, that'll be another Wii. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a bunch of Wii runners in the tournament.
Yeah, it was really great to see more representation of the different versions of the game. We also invited HD, but of course HD has a much slower route, so that would be quite a disadvantage. GG. And then GG to Kejs. That was a very entertaining race. It was so close so many times, and it was very interesting to pay attention to four at once. I think I'm happy with how I did generally, although I'm sad I missed Fernen's that one room.
Yeah, that was... I happened to look at Fernen's screen right as he got off, but like that room only takes a few seconds on Wii, which is the whole thing.
Yeah, true. There are two places in Goron Mines where you would do that, but the first instance is much shorter.
Howdy, Fernen. GG.
GG, Fernen.
GG, Fernen.
Yeah, GG as well, Anno. That was quite a run you were on.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not another race PB like I did in my first two races in the tournament, but I'm happy with the 58.
Yeah, if you would have PB'd again by like a minute and a second, that would have been quite an impressive PB.
Well, if you PB by 1 minute and 1 second the first time, you have to PB by 2 minutes and 2 seconds the second time.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Baachan was 10 seconds off PB.
Dang.
Yeah, he played pretty well for that route. You know, that route loses about 5 minutes, so versus his PB on that route, that was very good. It looks like on the boomerang split he lost some time, but he gained a lot in Elden.
And this is the second time this tournament that I personally have been part of talking about targeting the Kargarak during Wolf Bombhouse skip and then watching it happen as we're saying it. It's
yeah. I wasn't sure if it was gonna come down or not. It's like I waited for a second, but I knew it was probably going to come down, and then it didn't. So I went for the bug, and then, well, what do you know? It comes down right as I'm trying to get the bug.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it worked out in the end.
Well, congratulations. You'll be moving on to the next round of the redemption bracket. Be facing the winner of Geo and Dish. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, either way, it'll be we versus we, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't know who anyone else will be facing, do we?
I think I'll be facing against the winner of one Bewildebeest and Skyrion. So
No, you're up against the winner of Nimzo versus either Dean or whoever wins Last Chance.
oh boy, that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be Skyrion, right?
I'll try.
It's gonna be who?
Who Omega Lol? Yeah, it's gonna be a little while before your next race, I know.
Yeah, it might
last
be.
chance pool needs to finish first, and then yeah.
Last chance
Yeah.
pool tonight, though.
Yeah. That's gonna be a really interesting one. Because it's only like the winner takes it all for that one. Nobody else will make it out to like a second bracket or anything, so that's gonna be very exciting to pay attention to. I think there might be some nerves for most of the runners.
I think I also put on a pretty good demonstration of how you should not do King 1-1.
Yeah,
That
that was
was-
their fortunate fight. It turned a bright day at the end of it.
Yeah, and the part where he made it over the little jump, but you didn't. That was.
Yeah, scammed.
That's a
He
scam.
got like a very diagonal jump over it, and Epona was not about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was up with that wall, but I rammed Epona straight into that one for sure, and she did not like that.
All right, well, GG's.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
GGs.
Yeah, indeed. Alrighty. Big shoutouts to our 4 races, GG's, to Anno and to Fernen for moving on. And big shout out as well to Beast and Skyrion for doing commentary without tripping over their words all the time. Unlike
Not
my
all the
intro.
time.
Yeah, I chipped way less in this one than the night before.
See? Perfect. Professional commentators on ZS are a blessing as against not professional restreamers. So without further ado, let me wrap this up before I say something dumb. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We're going to be back with more TP over the next few days. 1 match is already scheduled. No, actually, there's like 5 matches already scheduled, but the next one is going to be the last chance pool match tonight at midnight Eastern, 5 a.m. UTC. And that's going to be on ZSR2. So heads up to you, Sky, and the organizers. We have a restream for that.
Ooh, good.
And yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. We're gonna not raid over to the main channel for once, but to ZSR4 where there's some Dwindwicker randomizer going on. So thank you all for watching. Take it easy, and bye-bye.